Hello and welcome to another dramatic reading by me, Andzan84. Today we're going to be doing another chapter of Super Sentai vs Power Rangers, and it's a pretty infamous one for reasons you'll get to see when we get further into the writing. At which point I will probably stop talking about the story to discuss the problems with it. At which point I will make a note of what the timestamp is so you know what to skip to. So anyway, on with chapter 15. Dynamic Explosion. Is it me or are these titles getting worse in terms of trying to create puns? Always note, there is much pun intended stuff with why certain characters are chosen. After all, this is an explosive chapter. What does that even mean? Also, the dialogue per commanders is being evened out as of this time. Thanks. I'm guessing that's meant to be in response to criticisms that the bad guys didn't split the dialogue evenly, which I can see where those complaints are coming from. At the new skybase, it was another fine morning. How can they tell? They're up in space. Everybody had just returned from their Earth training and back to the base. Well, I mean, I think back to the base implied they've returned from Earth. Professor Makino. Apparently his name is literally Professor Makino. How his parents were that well informed. Bulk and Skull are seen humming happily. Bulk and Skull are cleaning the hallway, singing the Shinkenja theme. Again, I have to question, and how do theme songs existing in universe work? I mean, if the theme has nothing to do with the show in particular, if it's just some generic lyrics like hanging out at the group schoolyard, finding trouble, never working too hard, then I can accept that it exists in universe. And if the lyrics are specific, have the word Samurai Sentai Shinkenja included, I have to start asking questions. I have to admit, maybe being lost to a strange world isn't so bad after all, said Bulk. Are you having this conversation now? But I have to admit, Spike's mother was my only love, said Skull. So is Spike's mother Kimberly then? Because he had a crush on her. And Spike is nowhere to be found. Man, I hate to think where he is right now. This is actually foreshadowing. Seriously, we'll get to that in the next chapter. Maybe he'll join us, said Bulk. See what I mean? And then we can get all the help and the crazy adventures we'll be having. Nothing you have done so far can qualify as crazy. As of right now, boys, I'm glad to have you two as my allies, said Professor Makino. Is he just confusing him with the guy from the secret show? Did that even air in the author's country? On the other hand, the explosive team was finally assembled. Apparently they started naming these teams. They are Ban, Asuka, Billy, Gaku, and Catherine. Okay, I think when he said pun intended, he meant he chose Ban for this because he's known as the Fireball. Which doesn't really explain why the rest of these people were chosen other than randomness. They're at the dining hall on the same table, which will now be called the mission table. You mean it wasn't called the mission table before now? Bulk and Skull can be seen serving the curry. Again, Japan has more food than curry. Curry is lowest common denominator to the heroes. Well, eat up, guys, said Bulk. The chefs made it all special today. You don't need all the food if you expect to win today's battle or whenever it is. So we aren't sending them back today. What? Hey, that does seem consistent with the rules they're enforcing later on, but... Oh, Bulk, we have guard duties to do, said Skull. Professor Makino has more jobs to do. Wait for it. Thanks, guys, said Gaku. I can't wait to start shooting bad guys again, said Ban. Oh yeah, the new curry is explosive, just like our next mission to be. Okay, so imagining this is translated to Japanese, he just described the curry as bakuage. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, the first recorded appearance of Tataya Hando. It's not Japanese curry, it's Indian curry, and I'm loving it, said Asuka. Which makes it even more baffling that they'd be serving it, since Indian curry is still not really the type of food you'd serve for health. Genta sure knows how to cook. Tuck, on the other hand, is a flaming chef. I wonder why he is still in love with Mako. Maybe it's because of her personality or her appearance, and not, something as stupid as her cooking techniques. Oh well, love can really be blind, can it? You should know you married a supervillainess. Genta Umamori arrived and said, Do you wish for more? There's more curry in the kitchen. No more thanks, said Asuka. But I do admit, having Bulk and Skull around is giving us a lively atmosphere. Nothing the two do can be described as lively. Meanwhile, at the lobby, the heroes are having their own talks about getting together as a team. I don't know, guys, you really should ditch this alliance. I have a feeling they're about to do something morally reprehensible. It's probably nothing. Yeah, you're probably right. Looks like it's time to prove my worth to the organization, said Catherine. There's still other characters who we haven't met. Oh yeah, Bokenja, Goonja, and there's a lot more. Have you really not met anyone on the station? What are you even doing here? I hope I can bond with everyone. That's literally not possible. Well, I have to admit about the directress. Why the hell are you using a female version of it? Herself is cool. Don't worry, Catherine. You'll get to know everyone here, said Supreme Commander Ryu. And my children will be eager to meet you. These will be the same children who haven't shown up since the first chapter, where it was beaten over our heads. Yes, they are in fact his children. And they set up a plot line about them being important, which went nowhere. My kids, Mikiko, wasn't it Miyoko or Miyako or Bear? And Ken will also be glad to meet more of you. I'll be back in my post soon. Kimberly Hart entered said, well, Ken, I do hope you enjoy your stay here. We'll do what we can to finish this battle and set the timeline straight. 8. Well, I do think meeting our counterparts will be cooler, said Catherine. Boy, I can't forget my meeting with my own counterpart Mo in my dreams. Why has she not tried to track her down in the present? Presumably she's still working for the military, and as I like to remind people, Bokenja took place 4 years in the future relative to when it aired, so it should not be the author's definition of past their prime. Meanwhile, the laboratory where Ranu's work with Professor Makino. Okay, at this point I'm just going to have to ring the bell. Some team of idiots entered, so wait for it. This is where it gets terrible. And we're 7 minutes in, so you might want to skip to later. They were Natsuki and Eri with a jolly spirit. Okay, I'd like to point out that neither Natsuki and Eri can be called idiots based off anything they do in canon. But what most stupid thing Natsuki does is tries to pilot Daiboken single-handedly, which does have good intentions and probably seem like a good idea. On the case of Ace of Ghost Sager, Eri isn't even the resident immature member. That's Monet. Hey, this laboratory is off limits, said Professor Makino angrily. Okay, but what if it's off limits, and how did they get in? Bulk, Skull, take care of these airheads. Makino would not call anyone an airhead, especially not someone he knows personally. Right away, boss, said Bulk and Skull. Bulk and Skull finally came to their straitjackets to deal with the naughty ladies. Okay, why do they have straitjackets for intruders? That seems excessive. You girls better leave, said Bulk angrily. You two could end up with detention for playing in this dangerous place. And I warn you now, if you're still listening at this point, detention in this case does not mean writing, I will not enter an unguarded lab. 100 times on a blackboard. It's two big meanies, said Eri and Natsuki together. They say a second after the two big meanies enter. Also, again, this is way too childish dialogue for either of them. You can't stop us, said Natsuki. We're going to play in here, said Eri. Again, neither of them are this dumb in canon. Two of them entered into the laboratory area. I thought they were already in the area and they slipped in so fast. This can't be good. They move so fast, said Bulk. Thank you for repeating what the narrator just said. Boys, we got to rush in. There's an apostrophe after we for no apparent reason. And get them, said Professor Makino. Oh, finally, he's back to being one professorate. Roger, said Bulk and Skull. Oh, what's this place, said Eri, who had just arrived for other friends. But she strayed far away from them. What other friends are we talking about here? Are we talking about Mako and Ahim, the other ghost sages? Some Skiik tribesmen? And we're not scared, aren't we? Said Natsuki. And also, how do they not know they were entering a laboratory? Surely the door was marked. I'm starting to think that the security at this place is an absolute joke. It's a wonder Radiguet hasn't blown it away with 10 million enemy missiles yet. It's nice to know there's somebody like me in this boring place, said Eri. Again, Monet is more similar to Natsuki even Eri is. But I guess the author finds her actress hot, since that's the reason any woman plays any role in this. Basically, ones who get the prominence of the ones he finds super hot, and the ones who don't do anything or are punished are average or ugly by his standards. It's me too, said Natsuki. I know, let's play with the equipment and all the colourful liquids we could find. Okay, one thing we can like to point out that it's not a continuity error, but it's a common sense error. Pretty sure most children know not to play with colourful chemicals that aren't marked. It's art. Hey look, what's that, said Harry. They saw a place full of chemicals. Way to blow the mystery. Rannu was simply sorting things out. Has she not heard any of the commotion? And all the colourful liquids drives me happy, said Natsuki. Oh, let's play with each and every one of them, said Harry. They caused panic to the laboratory staff. All one of them. Professor Makino and Bulkensko were trying to save the laboratory from a sudden explosion. Hey, stop that, said Rannu. Girls, you're going to blow up the laboratory. Hey, okay, why are you working with chemicals that could blow up the laboratory? Again, this is the most inept science organization ever. Bulkensko tried to stop them, only to end up hitting Professor Makino instead. This is why you don't hire Bulkensko to do anything. And just ask Lieutenant Stone. Oh, sorry, boss, said Bulkensko. The other Ghost Sage were checking in their respective quarters. Alatar was wondering why Braiduran had returned. I assume he's also wondering why he's referring to him as Braiduran rather than his correct name of Bradjil. Didn't we just destroy Braiduran? Why is he back to harass us again? Said Alatar. And to a voice I'm going for this one, I'm going to switch it up. I'm either going to be doing James Corden, because as Yudai Chiba, the guy who played Alatar, was dubbed over Paddington Bear. Or I'm going to make him Mike Licio, since they both played Elima in Pokemon Sun and Moon. Don't be surprised. We were told that some evil bad guy resurrected countless villains to help him conquer the world and invent the universe. He did return as a Gedoshu. Oh, it's how Radigate came back? That's a bit of a too major of a bombshell to just casually drop like this. So this event isn't surprising either, said Hyde. Oh, where's Eri? Has he strayed off again? Said Monet pretty worried when she noticed Eri wasn't with them. Again, if Figure swapped Monet and Eri's role in things, I'd be slightly more accepting of what happens. I think she ran off with some new friend of hers, said Alatar. And yes, the only Mike Licio voice I've got on my mind is either I from Yu-Gi-Oh! Range or Yuya from Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5. And he thinks he just made a new friend to wreck this joint. How does he know she's going to wreck this joint? Back to the laboratory, the two girls were so hyper. Have they been eating too much candy? That an explosion happened. Again, worst lab security ever. Billy hears explosion. What the? Said Billy. The laboratory has an explosion. I must get through there. Billy, stop, said Asuka. What about the mission? Just let him be for now, said Ban. He's attached to a job, or worse, married to it. How would Ban know this? Surely Asuka would know better, since he hangs around with Ranru. Besides, it's an emergency. We can't go home to an empty base. I think there's something more than that, said Catherine. I think he's really in love with that Ranru girl. How would you know this? You've known her for like a day? Hey, at least, it's not time to say those kinds of stuff. I'll let you figure out what's wrong there, said Ban. We've got to focus on our mission, but I think it's just better to keep the base from exploding. At the laboratory, the sprinklers began to activate because of the fire explosion. But it does not make me recant my comments about lab safety. This whole place should be shut down as a violation. Hey, what's going on, said Eri. How the hell? They are not this dumb. I don't know, but it's beautiful, said Natsuki. Hooray, it's raining in the laboratory, said the two airheads. Again, they are not this dumb. And Billy jumps in just in time to save Ranru from a chemical spill. Since it's not mentioned that either the two were causing the chemical spill, I just imagined that the chemical just fell down on their own. Billy, you saved me in the nick of time, said Ranru. Okay, were those chemicals poisonous? In which case, again, worst lab ever. Fortunately, it has hit both Natsuki and Eri too. I missed a line. Anything for you, Ranru, said Billy. Yeah, it hit Natsuki and Eri. They were now splashed with some chemicals. Ugh. See what mischief you two did, said Billy. How dare you get splashed with chemicals in an accident? Quick, to the safety shower with you. He pushed him in and it was activated. Okay, but hey, these chemicals can't be that dangerous if they can be neutralized with what I assume is ordinary water, with a few purifying agents in there. Wah! Said Eri and Natsuki. Do go ahead to a place in the safety shower, both of them crying out very loud. Better take care of you two, said Billy, who then pulled them out. There's no way they were in there long enough for the chemicals to completely wash off. Confirmed, Billy is trying to murder these two, which is a bit of an extreme reaction. Broken Skull finally came in with Swan and Professor Makino. You two girls are in so much trouble, said Swan. No! Said Eri and Natsuki. Broken Skull tied up both girls, bring them to the detention center. Director Aya soon got upset about the whole situation. She had them brought to her office. She had the fury that was ready to punish them both severely as if she had become a monster because she feared the others. And here's where the thing that makes most people hate this fic. The fact that the author seems keen to punish characters purely because he doesn't like them and by committing offences that are relatively minor. If anything, literally everyone in this lab should be punished for allowing the incident to happen in the first place. Ace. But no, it's just the two that managed to take advantage of the ineptitude that get the worst of it. Or because the author doesn't find their actors attractive or their characters intelligent. And Eri and Natsuki were chained down their chairs as maybe Aya really has become a monster. What a big deal, these chains, said Eri angrily. Yeah, we're not criminals, said Eri. Why the hell did you need to clarify that both? You girls are in so much trouble now, said Bulk, who was standing right next to him with Professor Makino and Skull. Bulk and Skull gave such creepy glares to scare them both. They're freaky, said Eri and Natsuki. Aya finally showed her temper outburst at them. So she was relatively calm about the whole almost dying thing before now. You girls should know better not to play around in the laboratory. You could have blown up a whole new sky base. Again, why are the lab personnel not getting punished for working with chemicals that could blow up the whole base? I hereby put you under detention for 2 weeks, said Director Aya. You two can start cleaning up the mess. You mean the mess that was already relatively cleaned up and minor? That seems fair. Then go to the rock piles after that. Yes, that is pretty much why this thing is so hated. The fact that the Super Sentai use rock piles as a punishment when in real life, not only has the practice been outlawed except for the most extreme offenders, which does not sum up what Eri Natsuki did in the slightest, but is often not used for comedy like this fic intended to be. But we were just having fun, said Eri. No but, the laboratory is not a playground, said Director Aya. There's nothing fun when people get injured. Nobody got injured except for these two, so I assume you'd be more sympathetic. Why do you think Super Sentai was established in the first place, or an extension of Power Rangers? To stop aliens, demons, and robots from destroying the Earth. It has nothing to do with basic lab safety, which you seem to have violated. To protect the lives of the innocent. What you did is a disgrace to a code of honor to Super Sentai. That's a bit of an overblown reaction. I mean, all they did was sneak into an unguarded lab and start messing around with unlabeled chemicals. Doggy, Swan, and Miki Masaki was called into the office to help her out. Commander Doggy. Yeah, the author likes to refer to every character by their first names in dialogue, even in cases where the character did not go by their first name. Most of them go by their surname or nickname, like with Doggy, who in the canon series goes by Boss. I do hope you can teach these girls' eyes girls. So Director Aya is transphobic now. She's calling these two females or something worse. Okay, she didn't say the word. I did, and I apologize for any offense caused to anyone who actually ignored my advice and watched this section. But the fact he referred to them as guys does imply it. Sorry for being so messed up as of today. This is not the last time you'll be this messed up, believe me. Do you have any suggestions or last word to say them before I let you handle them? Said Director Aya. Director, may I recommend Miki Masaki for a job? You mean the woman I called here on my own to provide punishment? Wow, we really are on the same wavelength. She's in fact far more of an expert in dealing with female discipline than I am. How is she more of an expert? Is it a sexist reason, or is it because she's a woman, because she used to be a punk? They should work with the rock piles that was prepared for worst offenders in this space. Again, and I repeat, the heroes have rock piles in their base. Ace, I'll let you figure out what's wrong with that, since, again, rock piles have been mostly declared illegal. They happen to be the first offenders of this time, so let us make them an example, said Doggy. Good suggestion, Doggy, said Director Aya. Well, first I'll make them clean the laboratory, said Swan. Okay, rather than doing a cat voice for Swan, I'm going to be impersonating the creepy male voice that's introduced New Tech City in SPD's first episode. Oh, for similar actor-based reasons. They have offended me so much. You weren't even in the lab. What did they do to offend you personally? Miki Masaki, I order you to put Eri and Natsuki under preventive suspension. What the hell does that even mean? These girls could have destroyed this facility. I hope this incident will teach people to act accordingly in the base. First, kindly accompany Swan to see they are punished by cleaning the laboratory, said Director Aya. Yes, Director, said Miki Masaki with a salute. Good luck then, girls, said Doggy. No! Screamed both Natsuki and Eri as Miki Masaki dragged them by the ears. Again, this is very blatantly capital punishment, which is frowned upon in most societies. But I imagine the author is from one society where capital punishment isn't frowned upon. Okay, let's see. You girls will need to learn your lesson the hard way, said Miki Masaki. This or cleaning the lab will help them learn their lesson. They do not need to work the rock piles. Yoriko Sage will simply think about Eri's recklessness after they heard what happened to her and Natsuki. I do hope Eri will learn her lesson from her naughtiness, said Alata. Maybe we can spare it from her food too. Okay, that's not an error. Eri was an awful cook in the show, due to her habit of just throwing anything together. But I'm still ringing the bell because Alato is the only person who liked her food. He would not say that. Do you have to agree that Taku's special is really great? Yeah, right, did I agree? Yeah, even Agri can realize that Alato is full of shit in this sentence. I mean, man, I can't believe the legendary guy from the sky is here, said Monet. What? Who are we talking about? I don't know why, but the Gosei world created an image in his honor. He's just a regular human being despite his stature. Who are you talking about? His sentence means nothing. It does not get explained or brought up again. It's pointless. Back at the laboratory, Ranru was crying. Yes, I know. It's horrible what the cat are doing to people who've helped save the world over minor disagreements. It's all right now, said Billy. By the way, I have to dry up to meet the others. By the way, I do hope you get your lab fixed on time for Mikiko's science project. Okay, but why the hell is it? How did you use by the way twice? To start working on it, her father wanted the laboratory prepped. Okay, but why the hell are they going to let a teenage girl do a high school science project in a laboratory full of deadly chemicals that could blow up? Again, I think you should be punishing whoever is in charge of lab safety rather than the two girls who decided to take advantage of said lab safety expert's incompetence. And I'll get it prepared, said Ranru. See you later, Ranru, said Billy. Thanks for saving me, Billy, said Ranru. Ranru's thoughts were now more calm. Those girls, just wait till I get my hands on them, said Ranru. I'm pretty sure Aya beat you to it. Well then, I still have a mission to go to, said Billy. It'd be nice to take you along, to see a scientific Sentai group. I met them though, they were much older while I was studying for my degree, said Ranru. Oh, so they do exist relatively in the present, said Ranru. Oh, Billy, good luck then. And the point where you can finish skipping is 24 minutes and 7 seconds. And we now I'll resume the actual part of the chapter you're here for. At the United Alliance of Evil Base, Renegade is now thinking of his latest countermeasure against the United Super Sentai and Power Rangers Alliance. I wonder how I can easily get rid of those Super Sentai and Power Rangers groups. I have to admit that most of the Power Rangers aren't that strong. Again, what is his rationale? They kicked his ass just as much for Sentai. If they seem to be supplementary tablets, I'm not really mean members to be Super Sentai group. I would really have to rethink my strategy. It means I have to violate all the women I can find attractive on their ship at once. Said Validay. He wants to violate every woman at once. He has some mad game. He was still angry at Floyd's interference. In fact, he had him locked up. Okay, one, there's probably a word missing there. And also, why didn't you lock him up before? Are you incompetent? You need to think the only reason this war hasn't happened or been won yet is because both sides are equally incompetent. Floyd is being tortured inside the prison cell and being forced to deal with warm stuff. Floyd does not have a weakness to warm stuff. He may be made of ice, but he's seen walking around in daylight perfectly fine. Fine. Well, Emperor, I suggest we get rid of the snowman soon, said Carter. He's getting on my nerves. You're right, said Valgate. However, the Sentai year 1983, I think I can start sending Long, Mikoto, and Shizuka to do the job. Okay, but why does he refer to them as Sentai years? Unless he really is planning to invade the Power Rangers universe, but it is weird since he's never brought it up. As for the snowman, I think I can still keep him for a reason of distracting my rage from killing everyone. So he admits that he's going to kill everyone. How the heck is anybody still loyal to him? Yes, Emperor, said Long. There's no problems with that, said Mikoto Nakadai. I'm not killed, to be called, after a killer for nothing, but why am I here? Fool, unlike Tranza, I'll have to be more careful around him, said Long. At the Sentai year 1983, the heroes arrived and saw the villains. Mikoto Nakadai was still yawning, thinking why he even existed. Yes, I know, the meaning of life is tiresome and complicated. Long Sarah, do you know anything about my past before I entered the United Alliance of Evil? Said Mikoto Nakadai. That doesn't matter anymore, said Long. All it matters is that we are here to work on a new monster for Tasinka. I think this leech should do the trick. I'm giving that one ring because yes, while we Tasinka monsters are based off animals, they tend to be created using primordial soup rather than throwing the animal into a blender. And leech, asked Shizuka. Oh, I hate leeches. If it does make a perfect monster, it'd be a good addition. We'd best we proceed to Jacinka's base as soon as possible, said Mikoto Nakadai. So if my memory serves me right, they are linked to the Evorians. Okay, but I have to wonder how the author came to the conclusion that the two are related, since there's nothing to support it in canon. And then, that's a good suggestion, said Long. Those using men instead of man, again, will be drained off their powers. Okay, one, that's grammatically incorrect. It should be drained off their powers. And two, the Diamond Man don't have any powers. They're one of the Sentai that simply wear suits that enhance their strength. And they have no superpowers of any kind. This is bad. His memory is returning. Shizuka returned to her usual jolly self rather than the ice cream Anike made her to be his Maria's replacement. Things can go wrong. Why is he worried about Shizuka? Only Mikoto showed any sign of returning to his usual self. Oh, maybe it'd be better so I can take over, said Long. Yes, the loss of two members due to regaining their memories will surely destabilize Radage's control. At the Jacinka Castle, Emperor Ato is holding a meeting with General Carr, his son Prince Megiddo, and Princess Chimera. Since it's not quite clarified what Chimera's relation is, I'll explain now that despite the fact you may see wikis that refer to her as Megiddo's sister, she's actually his cousin. United Alliance of Evil entered. What's this? Said General Carr. Do you dare approach the Emperor with such disrespect and lack of dignity? What did they even do to get that exclamation? We come from the United Alliance of Evil, said Long. We do not intend to harm your kingdom, in fact we are here to help. United Alliance of Evil, said Megiddo angrily. Are you kidding me? Maybe you're all just a group of rock stars. How did he come to me? I'm sorry, but I have no idea how he came to the conclusion that these two are supposed to be, this group is supposed to be rock stars, considering that they do not have anything that looks remotely rock starish about them. Calm down, cousin, said Chimera. That's no way we should react. Oh, he does clarify it. And he actually got it right rather than copy-pasting inaccurate information. Asen, good for him. Well, sire, we're just here to offer you advice, your majesty, said Mikoto. Elite's must be good against Pedine men to suck them dry. Let it be so, said Aton. And since Aton is voiced by Takashi Watabe, who later voiced God knows in Metalda, and going to be giving him a Grimlord voice, we might just need new advice to beat those guys. I'll take the chances of treachery, but Bedina Man keep defeating us. I'd team up with the devil himself. That seems like a mess of successive statements that have nothing to do with each other. Meanwhile, the heroes have been assembled into a past. But he's excited to hear it was past inventions and meeting the great scientist he's read about. What does that sentence mean? So I may be a witness to great inventions, Billy. Rather than telling me about them being her mentors is something. All of them were her mentors? Not just one of them? Because one or two of them being her mentors I can buy, but all of them? Really? Hey, Billy, you seem to talk about Renu a lot. I guess there's something between you two, said Catherine. Oh, not really, said Billy, trying to change subject. I've heard of those guys, but they're a lot older now, said Ban. But it'd be great to meet their younger selves, said Asuka. What is wrong with meeting them at their age in your time? Nothing. But I'm not sure why the author tries to make a big deal out of it. Gaku's keeping a watchful eye like an eagle would. Dynaman were at the Umino Adventure Center's surface. You mean the daycare? They are Hokuto Dan and Ryu Hoshikawa, Yosuke Shima, not to be confused with Yosuke Shima from Hurricaneja, Kosaku Nango, and Rei Tachibana. Anna, looks like we've got visitors. Okay, one thing you often seem to have neglected about Ryu talks in an antiquated dialect. And keep extending his sentences with Degozaru. To emphasize this. It's, I think one sub translated him speaking Shakespeare in English, but another made him super formal. Well, either way, this is out of character writing, and it should be offered as writing every character as if they have the same speech patterns, regardless of whether it makes sense for their actual characterization. And to stop this from being a soapbox chapter, let's just carry on. No more opinions. No despair. Ranger strange outfits. Billy and Captain have gotten into the anime look. Not how it goes from probably one of the most insulting to intelligence chapters ever to the most unintentionally funny chapter ever. No, but from the future, said Ban. It's a pretty unbelievable story. Time travelers, what's really going on? Asked Hokuto Dan. And, well, we're here to keep United Lines of Evil from conquering time as they intend. Besides, they do succeed, a lot of inventions for the Earth would no longer exist in our future. Well, no, most inventions that wouldn't exist to be a few game systems from after the 80s. And maybe a few advances in medicine and television, but the basic inventions would still exist. Oh, that's terrible, said Kosaku Nango. But you must stop them at all costs, said Hokuto Dan. Just by speaking, Leech Shinka was already conceived. It's a boy! Megiddo, Chimera, and Ka had surfaced. He was starting his orb enemy. This monster will be useful to create an energy bomb, said Megiddo. For once I agree with you, cousin, said Chimera. Now about monster, I'd love to know how a power failure can cause much distraction. Long Shizuka and Mikoto Nakadai appear as well. I do hope you enjoy our present. That monster will absorb energy and keep getting stronger when it does. Be careful though, he could get overloaded, said Mikoto Nakadai. What this? Power failure, said Billy? Or maybe it's nothing to worry about, I'll probably just check what's going on. Maybe not, said Dr. Kyotaro Yumino. Oh, yes, that is Dynaman's mentor. They didn't introduce him. And no, that is not his actual name. It's an alias he uses for most of the show. Power failure bad rap, it could be a monster attack. I mean, the whole city is losing power. Nothing's wrong with any generator nearby. However, they were speaking. It was reported that Leech Shinka has attacked one power plant. The Dynamen sprang into action. We got no time to waste, said Hokuto Dan. Dynaman! These guys really morph even when people are around. No, they don't. Oh, mate, they either show up morphed or they're in a secluded area like a quarry or forest when they morph off. Quite far-fetched what Zordon told us not to do, said Billy. It's nothing like that. He told you never to reveal your identity. They're not revealing their identity to anyone. We're going to help, said Ben. We got no choice but to morph now. Wow, another Dynaman team to Dyna Red? No, we're from the future. But does not discount me from being a Dynaman team in the future. Let's just roll, said Decorate. I call with the explosive fireball, and that's why I'm here with my team to help you. It'd be best if we teamed up, said Dr. Kyotaro Yumino. How did he make that leap in logic? I know he's a scientist and a genius, but let's be fair, the author cannot write a genius to save his life. Decorate prepared his motorcycle while others rode it on the Sarge's car. They're riding the Dynaman to check out the situation. Megiddo, Car, and Trakina were there. Was Trakina part of the party sent earlier? I have to check. No, she wasn't. The author just... Here, how did you screw that up? I have to ask. Long Mikoto and Onakadai and Shizuka were there too with Leech Sinker. Well, you'll see what the monster is capable of doing, said Long. A little animal like the leech can kill a person. Well, no, leeches up blood, but he turns fatal if you don't get transfused or if you're drained completely of blood. Now as the order can do now it has grown. Maybe it can really do more damage beyond twice the amount. Very well then, Leech Shinker, show us what you can do, said Megiddo. In an instant, Megiddo jumped right into the battle scene, absorbing every shot. Shouldn't that be Leech Shinker jumping, not Megiddo? Especially since he's not cool enough to absorb every shot by him. Wapper, you my hybrid Magnum shot to absorb, said Deca Red. Abre Black, Blue Ranger, Gal Yellow, and Zeo Ranger 1 did their best to attack, only just can be released out of their energy. Okay, it makes sense for these people to be drained of energy, but not the Dynaman. Abre Black, Blue. Alright, the Dynaman side bomb their team attack, the Dynamite Tackle. I'm gonna guess that the Dynamite Tackle is actually attack, but it wasn't their team attack. Their team attacks will be Dynamic Punch and be Super Dynamite. Right, okay. A, only for Leech Sink to absorb it right into him. Oh boy, this is really great, said Leech Sink, who is glowing with much energy. Began throwing destructive fireballs, and Zeo Ranger 1 activated her Zeo Shield. I have to check if that's right. Continuing to read. Read if I can. He was trying to deflect the attacks, but it was no use. Then he attached himself to a Dynaman, hoping to gain their energies too. Their life energies, because again, they have no superpowers of any kind whatsoever. This can't be, said the Dynaman, who also leached out. But as they're being leached out, Leech Sink was overloaded. Why would you create a monster that has a power limit? How much it can absorb? And also, I see mentioning Jakina was pointless and she didn't do a damn thing. Oh no, a monster's stomach of an overload, said Abe Killer. We must retreat. Not about firing some energy, that is, said Leech Sinker. In an instant, Leech Sinker fired some energy balls. However, the Dynaman allies were able to retreat before it was too late. At the Dyna Station, Banner's team and the Dynaman were thinking of a new strategy to beat the enemy. Banner was refilling everybody's energies up, including his. Because he knows how to do that. Shut up. Shut up, that's how. When Miran's absorbs energy, if he absorbs too much, he could blow up, said Billy. That's a rather shitty weakness. We'll help me analysis, said Yosuke Shima. Okay, I need to find my place again. I think a monster should be overloaded simultaneously, said Ray Tachibana. What the heck does that even mean? Anyway, now I'm about to check whether the Zeo Shield is the weapon's actual name. And... yeah. Answer? Answer? No, it isn't. I can ring the bell. It's the Zeo 1 Power Disc, or the Power Shield. You know, when it got above his Super Dynamite, it got so much energy. Wait, how did you get it wrong the first time and right the second time? But, can you please proofread your work before posting it? It got so much energy. After it tried to absorb ours, it got overloaded, said Ryu Hoshikawa. I really should be giving him a more old-fashioned sounding voice. I think I know what just to do, said Dr. Kyutaro Yumino. It should be just what to do. A power generator would do. It would overload him soon enough. Considering he's drained multiple power generators, I don't think it would. But all of you must contribute. Well said, said Billy. Unless we stand divided, well, fall. That is not how the phrase is supposed to be used. He mouthed as Leech Singer's eye take his use of his energy, destroying things around him. That should be to make use, I assume. He's going to lure the heroes out to their doom. The heroes have begun their plans to defeat Leech Sinker. Oh, what's taking the Dynaman so long to come out, said Long. I'm getting bored. Patience, said Mikado Nakadai. We must lay their tactics one by one. Surely that would be delay their tactics. They won't hide for long, said Mikado. And they will come out soon, said Chimera. Finally, the Dynaman came out with their power generator. Oh boy, more energy, said Leech Sinker. How stupid is this guy? I said Leech Sinker. Blue Ranger in beside his car playing the power generator. He turned the switch on at Leech Sinker. Sent at me pointing at Leech Sinker. It was all part of the plan. This is easier than I thought, said Suzuka. The force of feeding into power. By now he can use it against them. Diamond and Band's explosive team began to prepare their attacks to overpower it. Band prepared his hybrid Magnum for defense. Just a few more, said Blue Ranger. I think it's working. Now, Dynaman, use the Super Dynamite. The Super Dynamite was formed. Then I really should be playing the TV theme for this. It's Decker Red, Abe Black, Blue Ranger, Gaku. Why the hell is he referred to by his given name rather than his Ranger designation? And Z-Ranger 1 attack the monster together. Just as planned, the monster had an overload of power. Whoa! I can't handle it! I can't handle it! Said Leech Sinker with overload of power. Well, I guess it's time for you to go, said Decker Red, who fired his hybrid Magnum, causing the monster to explode as it can no longer take too much power. Okay. I forgot I am limited to time, said Leech Sinker before exploding. Worst temp villain ever. And for this fit, that's going up against some stiff competition. What's this? A monster exploded, said Megiddo. Looks like it's time for the giant mode. As for just Shinka Castle, General Aton, spin the wheel at once, said Aton. Okay, one, that should be General Carr. Aton is the one giving the order. And two, the giant wheel was only introduced to restore the Mecha Shinka beasts. If the regular Shinka beasts could grow giant on their own without any outside help via Big Bang progress. Okay. I'm trying to find the right thing. Yeah, okay. Out. Back to the service. Megiddo and Chimera retreated, as well as Long's team. Leech, Sinker, and Large. For some reason. Okay. I am just gonna keep trying to change music. We got two no choice. Call for a Dyna Jupiter, said Dyna Red. It's Die Jupiter, not Dyna Jupiter. The Dyna Jupiter showed up and finally up with Dyna Mac, Dyna Buggy, and Dyna Gary, forming the Dyna Robo. Remember, it uses energy attacks, said Dyna Black. Got it, said Dyna Red. Okay, team, let's use non-projectile attacks to win this battle. You mean the same attacks you normally do with the Mecha? The Dyna Robo used the Hammer attack, then the Tornado Punch. Just then Leech Sinker attached itself to the Dyna Robo. Power level is dropping low. What's going on? Said Dyna Blue. I'm just trying to absorb all our energy, said Dyna Red. Back to Decker Red's Team Blue and said, well, I guess I gotta help him. I don't know what we can do. Wait, I can intensify the power generator. What? You can't be serious, said Sea Ranger 1. That could be suicidal. It's the only chance we've got, said Blue Ranger, who began to override the circuits. I begin to think that scientists in this universe are idiots. It's Blue Ranger began to carry on instructions from Randy to carry out the job concerning their last team together in the laboratory. Randy, you've helped me become a better scientist. I owe you a lot. However, only if we didn't belong to two different worlds. That isn't stopping Cole. I'll really choose you above everything, said Blue Ranger. Power Ranger generator fired a beam straight at the monster, giving it energy which overloaded him. The generator erupted, but the heroes were safe. Well, now we've done what we came to do, said Blue Ranger. Thanks again, guys, said the Dyna Men from Med Dyna Robo. Now it's overloaded. Let's overload it more of our finishing attack, said Dyna Red. drawing the science sword by finishing attacking. You know that has a name. It's the lightning gravity drop. Killing a monster, but not without doing a quick evasion. Why do we need to do a quick evasion? I mean, they never do in the show. The battle was over. We've done it, said the Dynamen together. The team dropped by the Umino Invention Center to give one last visit. Looks like there'll be more than enough inventions in the future, said Billy. Okay, we're really hammering home the whole invention thing in way more than the show did. Allow me to feature this baby, the Search Guard Time Train. Search Guard Time Train? Dynaman and Professor Q Tower Umino wondered. Whatever is that? That's right, said Billy. Now here it is, as he pressed remote control. The train appeared in front of him, ghost-like, and Banner's team finally rode it. If they haven't rode it yet, how did they get here? Billy was still thinking of his promise to Rannu of freeing Mikoto Nakadai from his curse. Did the two of them interact in this chapter? Because if not, then why the hell is that on his mind? Oh, what a huge, amazing power, said Hokuto Dan. Maybe in the future we can make one too. Maybe not likely, said Ryosukawa. Although there will still be other great stuff that may contribute to Super Sentai in the future. In fact, I even envision multiple merging mecha too. Sayonara, said Banner's team together. Both teams parted ways to their individual duty. The Dynaman was still left in awe at such a magnificent experiment. The Search Guard Time Train finally left to the Sentai year 2011. There will be much more adventures waiting for our heroes soon. Okay, now the last two chapters are focused on more the misery porn that I advised you to skip earlier. So I advise you stop here, and I'll just give my thoughts on the Dynaman part of the chapter. It was bloody awful. The Dynaman barely did anything. The plot resolution was too silly and contrived. And also, I'd like to advertise that for when I get to chapter 32, I will plan to do it with multiple guest stars voicing characters. And you can join in too by clicking on the link down in the description below. Anyway, back to your regularly scheduled orphans for anyone who wants to continue with this. Yes, we see a closing shot. No, we don't. Again, this is a fanfic, not a script, of Eri Natsuki being put under heavy training duty by Miki Masaki with the Gokaidas watching over as well. Their hunting devices were confiscated and they were forced to wear prisoner uniforms. I'm pretty sure this qualifies as cruel and unusual punishment. And also it's stated that Eri can't survive without her Gosei powers. What the hell? Gokai see them. Well, it's always amusing to see airheads do what they have to do, said Doc. Oh, what a pity, said Luca. Not? Look, I know I don't like the Gokaidas, but I acknowledge they're not intended to be assholes. Oh, regardless, they should keep pounding rocks as punishment. You say regardless if you're disagreeing with someone, not if you're agreeing with them. I can't wait to see them cry for all they can, said Captain Marvelous. Today on Punk, we replace the Super Sentai with their evil twin brothers and sisters. Let's see if anyone notices. Don't be too harsh, said Joe Gibbon. Maybe let's not watch over them, it'll make matters worse. Why the hell is Joe Gibcon the only sympathetic member of the entirety of Super Sentai to their plight? Well, a legend war did occur, and we managed to prevent it after fixing one time period after the other. So maybe everything goes back to normal, but I'll get a battle prevented, but some things can't be prevented, said Captain Marvelous. What the hell does that statement have to do with anything that's happening here? Sink into drawing Moji Kara. How do you misspell Moji Kara? Character, that's to be pluralized, for rock, to keep rocks appearing. Keep working, girls. I hope you girls learn it's not okay to play in the laboratory. You gotta blow misplaced sky eyes at making Misaki in anger. We get it, they screwed up. Wah, said Eri Natsuki. Be honest, we look stupid in these uniforms, said Eri. Can't it be colourful? It's so dull. Grey, I hate grey, said Natsuki. Aren't most prison uniforms black and white or orange? What colour are they in the author's home country? Yeah, I want pink, 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 said Eri. Stop complaining and get back to work. It's designed for people who cause trouble. Keep work if you expect to move out of this place. So you're planning to keep them here indefinitely if they don't carry out their punishments? I'm sorry, yeah, I can see why people hate this fic now. In fact, I once admitted that if I got to this point I would have stopped it, but I've steeled my courage and I'm carrying on. Let's face it, the next chapter features something that's even worse from me gratuitous torture. Don't expect me to be nice in detention, said Mickey Masaki. Wah, said Eri and Natsuki. What's worse is you'll be eating a lot of bad cooking, said Mickey Masaki. Yes, that's going to encourage them to keep working, feeding them food that they don't want to eat. No, screamed both Eri and Natsuki. Mako arrived some of her infamous food fiascos. It's time for dinner, said Mako with a killer look in her eyes. Now it's time for lesson number 2, what violators eat for detention. Eri, this is a nightmare, said Natsuki. You got that right. No, it wasn't a nightmare. It's really real, very real. Oh no. Oh, said Eri, not Mako's cooking. No, I don't want to eat Mako's cooking. Okay, I'd like to point out now that for as much as we awful like to hammer it in, that Mako is an awful cook, by the time of Shinkenja vs. Ghost Sages, he'd improved that Alata did not think there was anything wrong with her rice balls. Granted, as I mentioned, Alata is the only person who thinks Eri's cooking is edible, so I have no idea what, if that's supposed to be a hint of quality, so I'll let this one slide, but I'm still going to complain about the overuse of the unfunny gag. And no, please, everything about for excuse for Chef Mako's cooking. Okay? If Mako, you're saying this to Mako's face, surely she'd improve her cooking in the future, but she won't. I heard so many cramps from eating it before his alliance was formed. When did that happen? I want food from the Dino Curry House. I want Dino Curry. I want Genta Sushi, said Natsuki. To acknowledge that Genta makes sushi. You two have been naughty, and that's what I do. Feed naughty people with horrible cooking from the detention kitchen, said Mako. Oh, okay. I am another out-of-character thing. Mako is not aware of her horrible cooking. There's a whole gag about how everybody had to stop her from cooking because her food sent Entaku to the hospital. Well, you'll be drinking overly done spinach soup sprinkled with nerds candy? What? By Yukito. Yukito then came in with his soup speciality. Was it a fruit surprise? Whatever. Well, girls, have fun eating my soup, said Yukito. And dessert. You'll be having plenty of strawberry pie with curry powder. Okay, but... No, not Yukito's food. Not that too, Sari. He's the worst chef at Dino Curry, said Natsuki. I don't want to eat such food. You girls would have bad taste not to eat it. Now eat it. It tasted so good Asuka was able to dream of it, said Yukito. The scene ends with both girls still crying over their miseries. Okay, now I'm going to talk for a bit about the whole torture porn aspect. It's literally not justified. Aside from what I meant about it not being justified by what the girls actually did, and it's also not as fun as the author intends it to be, and it takes up a large part of this chapter that could be used who's to develop the Dynaman plot. And also, as many points out, only happened because the author hates the characters for being stupid. It rather than because they have any unlikable traits. The author's reasonings for liking anything are ultimately rather shallow, and another example of how shallow the author can be, tune in next time for Chapter 17, Biomix Soldiers Crisis, which provides an explanation as to why Jason and Srini are basically turned into carbon copies of Go Shiro and Mika Koizumi.